Alrighty boys, so welcome back to another video. So in today's video, as you guys can see, I have my thumbnail editor up on screen. We're going to be going ahead and showing you guys how to make a Rumble Rush thumbnail. I did this for 1v1.lol. That video did pretty well. And a lot of people have been requesting how I've been able to even make any thumbnails without really having any assets or anything like that for Rumble Rush. So I'm going to show you guys today kind of like a few things that I do. You know, to get these thumbnails looking good and stuff like that. And I'll be showing you guys the application that I use. Obviously, there's a lot of other applications that are free compared to this one that you might be able to do the same things on. So if you guys want to use those instead, go ahead. But you pretty much just follow the same steps and the same type of criteria for those videos. And then maybe I'll try a different editor just to show you guys, maybe a free one at some point. I don't know. But for today, it's just going to be Canva. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, don't forget to drop a like and sub. Let's go ahead and get into it, boys. Alrighty boys, so just to start off, I made a copy. So basically, if you guys don't know what Canva is, Canva, you can pretty much make an edit for anything. It's not just thumbnails. You can literally do like all types of designs and stuff like that. Like literally, if you go to here and then like create, you can literally create like almost anything, like for different platforms. You literally look at like TikTok and stuff like that. But for today's example, it's going to be YouTube thumbnail. So when you want to go to create a design, just look at YouTube thumbnail. Let's set the exact proportions or exact resolution that you need for it, and the right pixels and everything. So once you get there, you're going to go ahead and you're going to pop the screen down. So I am using Canva Pro. I am going to say right now, Canva Pro is like $30 a month now for some reason. I think it's because they added AI and stuff like that. I personally don't really use AI that much. I use it sometimes, but not, you know, all the time. I use it just whenever an image looks incomplete or something like that. I'll like make it fill in the colors in between what's missing and what's faded out. So it just kind of depends for the most part for the AI portion, but that's just up to you guys if you guys want to do a subscription. Obviously, there are other ways of doing it without a subscription as well, but for the features that I'm using today, you need the Pro subscription to do most of this. And then obviously, if there's a free editor that has some of these pro tier like little features, and just go ahead and just use those features in the in the free version. Obviously, if anybody knows any free editors, drop them down in the comments. Maybe I'll even link one down in the description if somebody gives me one. I don't know, no promises there. But let's go ahead and start up. So basically, we're going to be recreating this thumbnail that I made here. This was for the Rumble Rush $10 cup video that I put out. So if you guys haven't watched that one, you guys should go back and go watch it. Pretty good video. It's a banger, so definitely go check it out. But without further ado, let's go ahead and start recreating it. So the first thing I did was I actually just looked up Rumble Rush. So we're gonna do that here. So Rumble Rush, I just looked up Rumble Rush IO. Go to images, and then for this image, I went here and I found this photo here. Okay. Then you're gonna want to go ahead. And I already have a copy of this one, but whatever. Upload it anyways. So you just upload files, put it up. So you see how it looks all blurry and everything? So with Pro, you can actually use image upscaler. And then so you go to image upscaler. And then I do up to 16 times if it's like really bad, like this quality. 16 times will take a while, depending on your hardware. I'm not gonna lie, like I have like a 3070 and it's still taking a little bit. So if you're on like a lower end like setup or something like that, it is gonna take a little longer for it to render and everything. But after it's done rendering, it's gonna look something like this. You're gonna press replace. That you can like slide this to show like the before and after. It'll replace the image that's in there, so you just exit out. This thing you want to do is kind of blow it up a little bit. Then you're going to hit background remover, also a pro tier thing as well. It shows a little crown next to it, so you know if it's a pro tier feature. Then it'll go ahead and remove the background and everything. So you just kind of take out everything on the sides. You can also use those other little images right there at the bottom, or the other characters for another thumbnail if you guys want as well. Just make sure you guys make sure you edit it to look nice. Maybe we'll use some of those for future ones. For future thumbnails, we'll have to see because they're pretty limited on assets. Just a heads up on that. The next thing you're going to want to do is if you have stuff like this in the background that you just don't want anymore, you can't crop it out because of the angles. Just go ahead and erase. Okay, so we got all that, and then there's this weird looking line right here. Oh, you can undo right there on the top left if you need. You're just gonna kind of hit all that. Okay, so now that we got rid of all that stuff in the background, we're gonna go ahead and bounce back. And we've got all this, so we're gonna want to blow him up right here. I don't know why the image didn't come out as clean as the other one did, but it's whatever. So I'm kind of blowing him up. You kind of want your character to be a bigger part of the screen. Obviously, you don't want a ton of background space in your thumbnails. It just doesn't look very good when it's just mainly background. You want like the main premiere, like main attraction pretty much out there. So you want the character nice, blown up, nice and big. So like I said, we're pretty much recreating this one. So if we were going off of size a little bit, you know, we'd probably shrink this just a tiny bit, bring them up. So something like that. Doesn't have to be exactly 1-to-1, but pretty close to it. So once you do that, you're gonna go ahead and head over into edit. You're gonna use shadows, and I use drop for my shadows. You don't want the shadow to be too far off. You don't want it too visible. Yeah, I mean, obviously you want it visible, but not like to stand out like crazy. So make sure the angle is set to normal. Then the distance is how you're gonna pull it in a little bit. So there you go. Pull in the distance maybe just a little bit more, so it actually does look like a shadow. Then next thing you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to go over to search again, and then what I do is I look up geometry dash, tree dash, background, and then background purple. That's what I used. And a lot of these backgrounds kind of look like the backgrounds of like some of the maps for the game, like this one. This one kind of looks like the same. You just have to match the vibe of the game of Rumble Rush. You don't even exactly have to have an exact background. Like some of these just match the vibe, so I just literally went with this one. Just saved image, and then went back over here. Put it here. Then once you put it in the image, you can go ahead and go into the settings. If you right click on the image, you go to set image as background, and then boom, you have a background going. And then now you can kind of center your character a little bit better. So like right here, you don't want too much space from the top from the character. Like I said, too much background space is bad. Next thing you want to do, I guess we'll go ahead and find the image. So if you go with the elements here, you can actually search up like all kinds of things. Like literally I just looked up money briefcase, and then I got mine. And then they have graphics. I usually go through graphics for these, and then boom is right there. So then, like I said, main attraction images, you want them to be nice and big, not too big. So I call these the second attractions, where basically it's the like kind of like the hook of it, where it's like the second, it's not the main piece, but it's also still a pretty good centerpiece of the thumbnail. And you still want it to be big, but not too big, because this is what he's focusing on. So he's gonna go ahead and whack it with his hammer. So obviously you're gonna want this to be blown up, maybe have a little glow on it. So I go over here and I hit edit on the image, and I go over to shadows, and we have glow. So I hit glow, change the color to white, and then you can kind of adjust the size a little bit so it kind of pops out. Now when you hit shadows and you use one of those effects, it does shrink the image a little bit, so you're going to want to grow the image again. So you have it like that. Then literally you can look at exactly like $10. Yeah, I searched up $10 in the search bar, and it popped up with this one. So then you just kind of bring this down. And we're going to make it decently big, because it is going to get shrunk down by the shadow we're going to put on it. So I put drop for this one. Kind of makes it look nicer. It pops out more. Or it makes it look more 3D. Then I went to text, and I kind of went through this template right here. So I did this template, to be exact. They have a lot of templates for text. You can just kind of go through, see what kind of matches the vibe. I went with this one. Sometimes I do my own little text right here. Like I'll add like a text, and I use Gagolin. I don't know why, but the Gagolin's a really good like I think thumbnail like type of little text font. So that's what I use, but I mean that's up to y'all if you want to use it or not. So we go over here, and I put cash cup, cash, and then cup. When you add text onto a thumbnail though, you kind of want to be careful. You don't want it to be too obnoxious. You want it to be big enough You also don't want it to be like the main thing. Like I said, it's kind of like third in priority when it comes to the main attraction. You want the main attraction, second attraction, and then the low priority attraction down here at the bottom. Obviously, you still want the money to be nice and big, so you got that set up. And then when you kind of compare this to the other one, it's pretty similar. I did change the color for this one, so let's go ahead and change the color. And change it to green, that way it's for cash. Then what I usually do for most of my thumbnails is I'll have the game title in like the top right or like the top left corner or something like that. Just somewhere, just so people know like, hey, it's Rumble Rush. Then you kind of go up here, slide this into a corner. I'm going to see kind of how big I made it in the other one. Okay, so you kind of put it up in the corner, then you go on to do low. That way it makes the letters pop out more. For Rumble Rush, got it up in the top left corner. It's kind of up and out of the way. Still visible. Like I said, you don't want text to be too crazy up on your thumbnails. So then you have that. You gotta bounce back over here. See our progress so far. We pretty much got most of it. There's still a little bit more that we're missing here, like the mouse. So we're gonna go ahead and add that. So we go back to elements. I literally look at mouth, graphics, and then just kind of cycle through, see what fits the vibe of the thumbnail or what fits your vibe of the thumbnail. I was literally just trying like a few of these like over and over. I ended up just going with my default one I used to use for .lol ones because it is pretty well made, and it matches the animation style. So you kind of just go here. You want to slide the mouth over here, rotate it a little bit so it matches the angle of the character. Make sure it kind of matches. You don't want it too high up on the eyes, otherwise it doesn't look right. And then that's honestly pretty much it, boys. You can maybe center this a little bit. Then boom, you pretty much got a thumbnail. That's pretty much how you do it. Like I said, when it comes to for assets and stuff like that, you're pretty limited because when you look up Rumble Rush IO, there's really like no whatchamacallit. There's almost no images for it, so you kind of have to just hope to God that they add more eventually once you run out. That's kind of where I'm at right now. Like I'm just kind of cycling through each one and pulling each character from every single picture. Using background remover. I'm trying my best. I also am using some in-game, like I take screenshots in-game and then I kind of edit those to look nice as well. That's how I get the chest and stuff like that in my thumbnails. So if you guys are wondering how to do that, just literally go into the game, screenshot it, and just add it, background remove it, or just whatever you got to do to filter it, make it look nice. So that's pretty much gonna do it. Like I said, guys, that's how you guys make a YouTube thumbnail for Rumble Rush. So if you guys have any questions, let me know down in the comments down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Later, guys. Hello, post recording right here. So I recorded the video, right, but I accidentally covered the $10 in the cash cut that whole time. So kind of just follow the same steps that I was talking about when it comes to that, but here's like the final look of it. Just want to show you guys. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later, boys.